Remember that? Remember the...
Levack and Goz, it is a Tech East Tuesday live from the MVP Arena. It is the umpire offices at the MVP Arena. A big old hockey event coming up this weekend. Big old Frozen Four-ish kind of thing going on.
Regionals. Who's going to play in the Frozen Four? Ooh, very cool stuff happening here.
Minnesota State, Notre Dame, one of the Dakotas. I think it's Dakota Prescott.
Just imagine you doing the PA for it now. That's how you would have done it.
I did the commercial.
Oh, you did?
I did the voice for the commercial.
Like that?
Yeah, like it's the NCAA Frozen something or other. They've got ice and sticks and little rubber things they call pucks.
Dakota something, right? Or taking on Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame. That's who it is. I got Cam right in. Hello, guys. What's up, Cam? Just a reminder, we will be back under the orange roof on Friday, 5:30 to 7.
Finally, Levack and Goz will be back under the orange roof on Friday.
I gotta tell you, I had a good time last time. I wonder if Boston Dan will still hang out with us. He was a little cross with one of us. One of us said things we weren't supposed to say on the show.
That was not me.
It was me. But it worked out. It was going to be our viewing party. So, there you go.
Is he getting back to you since then or no?
Very, very, very sparsely. Very sparsely. It could have been when I started texting his wife and asking if he could hang out later. Yeah. And then he got me an Uber, so it was you ain't got to go home, Levack, but you ain't staying here. Get in that car. All right. So we are here. And of course, bracket challenge going on. Guys, how you doing in the bracket? The Levack and Goz, or is it Godzilla? Godzilla. It should be Levack and Goz. But, if you want to make a Godzilla bracket challenge, how you doing on that?
Not great. Below average. If I was a student right now, I'd call myself a C student. Although I'm a C student, I have room for improvement. Not just room for improvement, Levack. Room for a chance to finish like top 10. I'm not going to finish in the top 3. I'm not going to have the best bracket because I have Kansas. I have Texas Tech. I've got Villanova. I've got some dogs still left.
Some dogs.
I feel good
Gonzaga.
about it.
You got Gonzaga.
I got Gonzaga.
Kansas.
The whole thing comes down to Kansas for me. I liked Kansas from the end of February, early March. Their draw's better, so you're beating me. It's the point you wanted to get at.
Yeah. I'm 31st. That's more than twice as good as you. I'm a little upset with myself. I didn't take Michigan over Tennessee. I didn't go homer like I would normally. That upsets me a little bit. But right now, with the exception of Michigan, I'm only Michigan and Iowa State are the only teams that I didn't have here. Wisconsin kicked my ass by Wisconsin. No, I'm sorry. I had Baylor beating North Carolina. But Wisconsin, I had moving on to the Elite Eight. So that hurt a little. That one stung a little. But everybody else still alive, ready to go. Get after it. And I got Arizona as my champion. So I still got cats in the fight, if you will. Not so much dogs. So there.
Yeah, looking at the top leaderboard right now, we've got Jay Racco and ZMFD tied for first. Both had Gonzaga win it all.
Swear? Is that swearing?
ZMFD. Our guy Willie Fish, Big KD, and former UAlbany fullback Ben Carl all tied for third. Dan L, my dad, Jim
See,
R,
your dad. Your dad.
Six.
I love your dad. Don't get me wrong, but he could have helped you out here. He could have just put his name in, and then it would have looked like you were doing better. Because you're a third.
That's right.
Thomas Gozlowski the third. TTL man is Thomas Gozlowski the second, or as I like to call him, TG2. If he had just put in Tom Goz, even TG2, people would be like, oh, maybe that's Goz. But by putting in his TTL man, which I assume is from when he used to run in a tough crowd gang kind of thing. Now it's obviously not you, and your dad is better than both of us at this moment. But it is important to remind everybody that my daughter didn't even fill one out. So,
yes, UCLA winning
Yeah.
it, by the way. So, like, even though there's 16 teams left, it feels like, stop myself there.
Hmm?
I was going to say there's 16 teams left in the Sweet 16, obviously, and it feels like all 16 can win. I don't know if that's true, though. I don't think every team still left in the field can still win the tournament. I feel like that's too cliche.
St. Peter's cannot win the tournament.
Okay, there you go.
They cannot win the tournament. They look good. It's been fun to watch. Enjoying some peacock action. Loving that cock action on a good Saturday night. But not going to win it all. Not going to do it.
That is the worst potential matchup they get for Purdue. Purdue has a kid who is 7'4". You're telling me St. Peter's is going to find a way to defend a guy who's 7'4"?
Why is it every dude who's that big legitimately looks like a monster? Like he legitimately looks like he walked right off the set of Space Jam, the original, the good one, not the crappy one. He did that. Like every one of them looks exactly like every. Oh, that one took Sean Bradley's powers. I know which one that is. That's the one.
And why is it only Florida State or Purdue? That's it? That's the only schools left recruiting 7-footers?
They are the only places that the door jams are high enough for them to walk in without bending over. And they're like, the guys show up and they go, that, you were thinking of me. I'm in. Let's go.
Even though it's going to feel like a Class AA school, that's not even a good comparison. A big brother versus the little brother, an infant versus a teenager, when Purdue just lobs it over the top every single possession, and it's going to be a tough watch. Even though St. Peter's is likely to get crushed by Purdue like by 30. Is St. Peter's one of, if not the greatest Cinderella story ever? They beat Kentucky. They beat Murray State, a 15 seed. The stories that outlets are running, and you and I, you cover the MAC, I've covered the MAC. St. Peter's has nothing when it comes to, how do you say this? Their entire program. Like from the gym to the uniforms to the coach's office, they are borderline Division III when it comes to that stuff. The amenities, we'll call it.
Do you see the Google, like everybody doing like the Google Earth and Google Maps and everything, showing like it's just a building on a street. It's not even a campus.
Is it one of the great, if not the greatest Cinderella story ever?
Cinderella herself, great story.
That's right.
I did enjoy that one. I don't know. You know what I think the problem is? Like with UMBC social media really took over. So you had that that thing that we call rally around and watch the Golden Retriever social media. Like St. Peter's, unless you're rooting for their coach, aka State Farm commercial Chris Paul, I'm not going to remember any of these guys. Like Chicago Loyola had your favorite sister
Jean, that old bag.
Jean, yes. You stop hating old people for
witch.
5 seconds. Like, what's St. Peter's thing? Like, they played really good basketball. Okay, well, that's great. What's the thing that we're going to remember? Because I guarantee you, most people 5 years from now, you're going to go, so how great was that St. Peter's run? Was that like a marathon you did? Was it over by the hospital? Like, what was this is just not going to be there. So, I mean, kudos to them for just playing hoops. But I think as far as being a great Cinderella story, they need something for us to remember. Like, bring a real peacock to the games from here on out.
You're right.
Dude, bring Dalton Castle, the party peacock himself. Right. Bring Dalton Castle to the games.
You want a moment. You want a story. I get it because, like, Florida.
Do you realize how great it would be if Dalton Castle full gear with the boys, sitting on the boys on the side? Oh, if you don't know what I'm talking about with Dalton, look up Dalton Castle and the boys, the party peacock with the St. Peter's Peacocks. That would be, you win. You now are the greatest Cinderella story of all time.
Use your phone, screen capture that, and send it to everybody at St. Peter's.
Yeah.
Let Dalton Castle be
Invite
there.
him. Because he's not currently under contract either, because he was a Ring of Honor guy. So this is your chance, St. Peter's. Do the right thing. Bring the party peacock with you.
When you had Florida Gulf Coast, they were Dunk City. And those games where they beat Georgetown and they beat, I believe San Diego State was the other one. Alley-oops all day. Reggie Miller and that broadcast crew were going nuts. And they looked good. The classic thing is like they're not a 15 seed. Okay, moments after tip-off, we all figured that out. Oral Roberts is probably the best comparison because Oral Roberts last season is a 15. Oral Roberts gets to the Sweet 16, and they're a few possessions away from beating Arkansas. But some people might have struggled before this March Madness to remember Oral Roberts because what we remembered was COVID and how it was all in Indiana. They didn't have what you mentioned, that storyline, that special moment, that shot. Loyola Chicago did. George Mason's a little different because they're at 11, and George Mason beat North Carolina, UConn, and Michigan State. Like, that's wild to think about out loud.
End of the day, like, what will you find more memorable, Oral or Cox? Like, what's the one? I don't understand why you're laughing. Like, which run, which experience are you going to remember more fondly?
I would. The Cox, I
You
think
love
I'll
the
remember
Cox.
more.
You do love the Cox.
Because
All
of
right.
the Kentucky win and the MAC connection. So, you know what? I would say
I love Oral Roberts, but
they're the greatest
very
Cinderella
proud.
ever.
I'm very proud of the Cox. Very proud of them.
They're the greatest of all time, Levack. A 15 seed. They're the best.
I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. Again, but what the detriment to them is they just play really good basketball right now. They were not good all year. They were okay at best. They were not. No one picked them to win the MAC tournament. No one. And then all of a sudden, here we are. So like
soft, flaccid basketball they played, some would say.
And then when needed, Cox got rigid, and they got out there and they played hard press. You know, they were in it. So no zones, just after you. You know, it's impressive. But like seriously, nobody's going to remember them because they just play really good basketball. They just play really good. They're not dunkers. They're not this. They're not that. The other thing. They just play tenacious defense and everything. Even if they somehow get past Purdue because they're well rested and they can do what they're doing, that's it then, right? Because even like UCLA, North Carolina, whoever, like you're going to be beat up after that game, and then you're going to go play those guys a day later.
They'd get Carolina or UCLA, right? You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing: like, I would have done that same thing this time last week if you told me St. Peter's. Like, aren't they going to get destroyed by Kentucky? Yes. Are they going to get destroyed by Murray State? Yes. So maybe we just got to embrace the journey rather than the destination. That sounds like something you hear on Facebook or something. Yeah, they're probably not going to go as far, but that's getting to the second weekend's good enough. For St. Peter's. Good enough story. Good enough story.
How can you ever say that, though?
They're a 15 seed. They stink.
But you can't say it until they lose. If they lose, then you go, great run. You did what you need to do. You can't just accept losing for the Cox right now. Like, don't be a sorry cock. You know what I mean? Like, just don't be an apologist for them.
The fact that at Hooters, we're going to do our show and get that game first and then Kansas versus Providence next, where I might just, by the end of that game, start shaving my head. We get both of those on Friday night. Awesome slate of games.
Could you be? Could I have you beat by then?
Yes. Yep, by 9:30 on Friday. So if you want to come join us for the show, you're going to watch me suffer.
Even though I don't have them advancing, would rooting for Cox help my?
Oh no, that game will have no impact. I don't think you had Purdue. I thought you might have had
very unimpactful. Did I have Purdue? I don't even know who I had anymore.
Yeah, I guess you
Purdue.
had Kentucky.
I had Kentucky beating Purdue. Yes, You're correct. You are correct, sir. Yeah, mine doesn't look as good as I thought it did, but it's still, I'm in there. I'm in there at 31, ready to have some fun.
We mentioned Kentucky there. We mentioned Purdue. I feel as if we had to like reset this and like go back and re-wager, I feel that
I'd have 100% right so far.
That's true. Wouldn't North Carolina be the best bet? North Carolina smacked their 8-9 game opponent Marquette. They were up by 25 plus against Baylor, the number 1 seed, before their player gets thrown out of the game for no reason at all. And they were at an 80-1 shot to win the national championship. 80-1. And they look like the North Carolina team's past. That's been the most impressive team to me for the first weekend, the North Carolina Tar Heels, even though they're an 8-9 opponent and they get UCLA. That's been the team that if I could go back and wager on, I would have wagered on them just because of how high the number was.
Most impressive through now? Man, that's tough.
Does St. Peter's count in this discussion?
I mean, they would have to be the biggest surprise.
Arizona comes from behind and wins. Gonzaga is still the top team out there, but they got tested in the 16 game.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because like the way Baylor was in the first round, where they just smacked. Yeah, I guess you do have to put UNC up there. That would probably be.
How about your Michigan Wolverines? Maybe we're not giving them enough credit.
You know, I do think they deserve more than they're getting from a lot of people. But what scares me is this Michigan team has the ability to. They're schizophrenic. If we're being perfectly honest, like the way they will handle their business from time to time is just frightening. Like you would think it would be like, oh, hey, if we feed the ball to Dickinson down low or even up top, as long as the ball is in his hands once a possession, we're going to score a bunch of points. But then it's like they'll go 4 or 5 possessions where they just run down the court and like as hard as they can at the backboard. They're
that's Juwan Howard seeing that. Guys, what are we doing here on tape? What is this?
Right. What do you call this play? Well, I call it the Oh, okay, good. Well done. Don't forget, you can see the face that goes with that sound if you watch us live on the Techies Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page. It's the Techies Tuesday. We're also on Gozilla Media's YouTube, as well as apparently Goz's Twitter, because Goz is a fame ho. I don't know. Like, Michigan's really been impressed with me. It's been a lot of fun to watch, but they're not gonna. They're done at this point, right? I mean, they're not going to continue on. So Villanova is going to. The matchup predictor at ESPN.com is giving Michigan a 23.5% chance to upset Villanova.
Here's what I'd do here for these games, because we're not going to be able to pick these because we're out live.
And they're only getting 5 points?
I would take, in these matchups, I would take Villanova with the points. Remember that national championship a few years ago was one of the biggest lines
You're
ever.
laying points.
Yeah. I would still take Nova with the points. I would take them.
You're a nerd.
I would take Gonzaga. Would not touch the spread in that game. Arkansas plays good defense. Eric Musselman's good coach.
Texas Tech
just
crap out of Duke.
And I would take Texas Tech, and I would take Arizona. More likely to take Texas Tech. Houston's very good.
You're very good. Houston with the points. What is the spread on that even?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Because Houston's playing some inspired hoops. As a matter of fact, they are predicted to win this game by the matchup predictor.
Whoa.
They're getting 1.5. So that's weird. The matchup predictor says a 59.2% chance Houston wins, yet the pick center score is 72-71 Arizona. So I don't know. Do what you want with that.
Ooh, I want to do something with that. That's what I want to do, because Houston is that number, and Texas Tech.
Why didn't you react like this to Oral Roberts? I don't understand.
A 1.5 point favorite. Texas Tech, although seated higher than Duke, if talking number wise, they're a 3 seed. That feels like the Houston line is more surprising to me than the Texas Tech line. And some people would hear that and be like, what do you mean? Like, that's Duke, Coach K, 5 NBA players. That should be a favorite in that game. The fact that Houston is that close to Arizona, you know what? I would take Houston to win that game because of that line you just said. I would take Texas Tech and Houston, and you get to watch your boy, as you've been fading Duke all the time, continue to fade him. Armin Williams, guns up, his Red Raiders.
Michigan State just let me down in the last few minutes. They just weren't as athletic as the Dukies. Yeah, I would bet Michigan with the points, Gonzaga, Texas Tech, Houston. That's where I would go for Thursday. That's what I would do.
Ooh, I want to do 4-team money line.
Yeah.
Gonzaga, Villanova, Houston, Texas Tech.
Well, you're wrong. You're wrong because you didn't say Michigan. So you're stupid. You're a poopy face, and that's all there is to it. Speaking of poopy faces, I'm sure you want to talk about one of your friends.
We'll do Johnstone Supply.
I know poopy face right there. That's my boy Tom.
There was no winner on that.
He loves. Yeah, I was saying nice things about him.
We muted it. That's right.
So that's what. I gotta get a new
Spring is here, Levack.
Has it sprung?
It has sprung, and that means new furnaces, new boilers. John Goodman furnace, 2% off. Johnstone Supply in Troy. Give him a call today.
Did you have a stroke?
I thought
you all right?
518. I just thought about John Goodman. I'm like, is he gonna come to their house? No, he won't.
That'd be great.
518.
I mean, he was the head of heating and cooling in community, so
that's what I thought about. Really? Yeah. I'm like, what if John Goodman just called Tom one day? That's how quickly.
Hysterical. Like he handles his own copyright infringement. Right. Yeah, it's John Goodman on the phone here for you, and if I'm not going to put up with Roseanne's crap, I'll put up with yours.
So just my images are now popping in my head. Like someone's going to walk into 6th Avenue in Troy, Johnstone Supply in Troy. Just look around for John Goodman. Oh man, I heard Levack and Goz talking about some John Goodman product. Where is this? Don't do that. Just walk up to the front, ask for Tom, Kev, James. Maybe you'll see Jordan say, "I'm looking for what Levack and Goz have told me about." And grab yourself some Milwaukee tools, guaranteed to be the best tools here in upstate New York. If you're working on those spring projects and more, maybe you've got some things in the winter you've got to clean up on. That's okay. Johnstone Supply in Troy can help you with all those things and more. For those HVAC needs, check them out on Facebook as well. Johnstone Supply in Troy, helping you in the capital region across upstate New York now that spring is here.
So when you buy the Milwaukee tools, then you hit the Bev, you get the Milwaukee's best, and you work in the garage all weekend. And by working in the garage, I mean you plug a TV in and watch hoops, and that's it. You're all set. But there's tools out there, so you're working.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing. They'll teach you all about it over there at the Johnstone Supply. That's what they're going to do for you. NFL getting a little crazy. A little craziness going on in the NFL. Lots of moves being made. I got to tell you, wouldn't want to be Baker Mayfield right now. Wouldn't want to be Baker Mayfield right now.
Now, I'll go with this one first because the NFC South, the Buccaneers are going to be facing no longer Matt Ryan, as Matt Ryan has been dealt from the Atlanta Falcons to the Indianapolis Colts.
So Tom Brady is the longest tenured quarterback in the NFC South right now.
That's right. The Falcons quickly made a move to bring in Marcus Mariota.
I like that. I like that move for them. Put him back with Arthur Smith. They were together at Tennessee. I think Mariota's ready to go. Every time he took the ball in Vegas, he looked like he wanted to hit people, which maybe you don't always want that for your quarterback, but I like Mariota. The only thing that sucks about that is I don't have him as a backup in Vegas anymore.
Probably the best skill-wise backup that was out there in the NFL. And then Jameis Winston also going back to the Saints with a 2-year contract for Jameis. Panthers in the NFC South have yet to make a move that people wonder if it's the draft or Baker. Let's start with Matt Ryan first before we get to Baker, though.
Yes.
14 years in one city. First round draft pick. He just signed a monster contract just a few years ago post Super Bowl. This feels more like the Falcons looked at where the franchise was and how much they were paying Matt Ryan and said, this doesn't work anymore. Like this was a bad contract, a bad deal across the board. We got to make a move. And this offseason has just worked in our favor that we can make it happen now.
Oh, 100%. And the Colts seem just enamored with bringing in quarterbacks that are either past their prime, maybe haven't fully recovered from an injury or something like that. They're just like Phillip Rivers. Let's give it a run. He'll be fine. He peters out in the end, and they get beat. Carson Wentz. This will be great. Carson Wentz is good. Carson Wentz, obviously the Carson Wentz that you coached up in Philadelphia. They're like, all right, well, you know what? Let's do something completely different. Matt Ryan. Wait, that's the exact same thing we've been doing. The exact same. But good for Matt Ryan. He'll have a chance to win. A team that wants him. They'll run the ball a lot. How many times can you hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor? That's the important part. So good for Matt Ryan. This is probably his best opportunity with Dome, for home games. All good things for Mr. Ryan.
Matt Ryan was not good last year, but to your point, now he's better because he gets to hand the ball off. Right? Like he shouldn't have been in the role he was in Atlanta last year to win games 13 years into the league.
Well, trying to learn a new offense too. I mean, yes, he's gonna have to learn a new offense, but 60 to 70% of it is hand the ball off. So he'll be okay. It's his best chance to be successful right now.
When you laid out that Colts strategy and how they handle quarterbacks, I started wondering, is it bad? Because they're winning. Despite the idea of them bringing in an old Phillip Rivers, a maybe overrated is the best term I'll use here for Carson Wentz. Now with Matt Ryan, if they win that final game against Jacksonville, people are going to talk about Indy being dangerous. If Phillip Rivers maybe had a little bit more success in the postseason, I feel like it's a blanket statement for his career, but they could have maybe went deeper. Now with this, AFC South is loaded. Are they better? I probably would take Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz. So if the question is, are the Colts a better team now? The answer is yes.
But I'm not a big Carson Wentz guy.
No.
But you didn't really pay anything for Ryan either. You know what I mean? The small amount that you got for Wentz more than paid for Ryan, and you got rid of Wentz. So you're golden there. The quarterback carousel is almost done spinning, right? What are we looking at? Seattle? Because are you going to go? You're going to go to war with Drew Lock? That's your choice. That's what you're going to do. I would put Tennessee back out there because I think even Tennessee's starting to look at Ryan Tannehill and go, he's okay, but can we upgrade? Because if Derrick Henry's hurt, we're in a rough spot without a better quarterback. So if you're Baker Mayfield, you're praying for Seattle. You're praying for Tennessee. What are you praying for?
Is Carolina or Pittsburgh in your mix?
Pittsburgh, I don't think so because they got Mitchell Trubisky, Dwayne Haskins, and Mason Rudolph. So
and potentially the draft too if they want to pick it.
Right,
Pittsburgh
right.
going there, yeah.
Which or do you just suffer through because next year is supposed to be a far better quarterback year. So I think Pittsburgh's out. I think I don't know.
Carolina seems
I mean, is he better than Sam Darnold? It's pretty close, right?
I would take a healthy Baker Mayfield over a healthy Sam Darnold because at their peak, Mayfield has been better at his best than Darnold's been at his best.
But what would you give up? What would you give up for him? You know what I'm saying?
That is so hard because of, let's give Joe Douglas credit. Joe Douglas's trade to get rid of Sam Darnold looks like a genius move in comparison to what's been given up for quarterbacks this past offseason. He timed that up really well. And Carolina's not in a need. Here's the thing with Carolina, right? They don't have to go get Baker. Like you just said, if you're asking who's better, that's not a good enough reason to make a move. If you're looking at the draft and you just want to get an affordable contract, that might be the way Carolina goes. Does Matt Rule say, look, I'll get my own guy finally in here? There's a lot that can happen. So Carolina doesn't make sense. Seattle's rebuilding, so Seattle might be fine with just having a bad quarterback. And I guess, do we have to toss this idea here? Will Cleveland actually do it? Like, will Cleveland actually trade Mayfield? Or will be like, let's wait for the season to start, quarterback gets hurt, then we'll deal better?
I think that's your real course of action. You're hoping for that Sam Bradford deal. You're hoping for that deal where it's like, oh, you're desperate, pay for him. Here he is. But he's so malcontent right now, which he's right to be at this point. He's not great, but he played hurt. He gave you everything he had and then some. And he has not been treated respectfully, we'll say. But he's, at this point, losing him might be a positive. Getting rid of him for anything might be a positive. But yeah, I think the best course of action would be to figure out how to keep him out, make sure he's showing that he's rehabbing that shoulder and all those good things. And then, somebody trips over their own feet and all of a sudden, there's high demand for Drew Lock, has a very minor injury, but it's enough to make Seattle go, fine, bring in Baker. Because you can't keep him as a backup. Can you imagine him as the backup?
No.
But history states he'll be good next. Because every time he's had to walk on somewhere and leave, he's always played very well afterwards.
Yeah, he's got his contract that's just in a weird spot because of that 5th-year option. He doesn't want to be there. He requested a trade. So what he could easily do is this. I'm not coming. You guys can have me be the backup. That's fine. I won't be there, because we've seen guys like Deshaun Watson and others just flat out be like, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be a part of that. That's not going to be my thing. So if I had to guess what Cleveland would do, they're likely to wait till draft day, and it's between, I'm sticking with Carolina, or he's going to sit because the options have run out like you've laid out.
All right, wait a minute. What about this one? Corey from Greenwich. Hi, guys. He misses us allegedly. Giants. He's better than Jones. What do you put an LOL in? Do you mean it? What do you mean? Like, is he really? I thought the Giants whiffed when they didn't get Mitchell Trubisky. That was the Giants screwed up. Because I could see Mitchell Trubisky physically, skill set, all the things he can do what Daniel Jones does. You run the exact same offense with both those guys, and whichever one runs it better, that's your starting quarterback, and the other one's out in a year. But when Pittsburgh was able to get, I think I could see Trubisky being the quarterback in Pittsburgh for the next 3, 4, 5 years. I could really see it. Once he has consistency, and there's nobody in the NFL more consistent than Mike Tomlin, he could actually be a good quarterback. Maybe not great, maybe not an air quote franchise guy, but if you get 3 to 5 years out of his ass, let's go. I'd be thrilled.
I'm not as confident in Mitchell Trubisky as you are, but it seems as if whoever that is going to be, whether it be Pickett, a rookie, Trubisky, Pittsburgh has shown both coaching-wise and quarterback-wise, they may be arguably, maybe in NFL history, we can even go professional sports history, the best at keeping consistency at both a head coach and a primary popular position. So Pittsburgh has been able to back it up for decades doing that. I think our guy Matt Bob asked the question about Baker. Do you guys just see Baker flat out getting waived, and how much would that affect Cleveland? That is the report locally there in Cleveland. That's why too many Browns fans aren't getting too worked up about it, is that they just think he's going to get waived anyways, and the Browns won't get anything out of it. That statement out loud is very Cleveland-like, oh, we finally got a quarterback and we're not going to get anything out of it. Oh, the best season you guys have had since 99. The guy who changed the course of the franchise, whatever. But when it comes to salary cap and dead cap and money, I've decided to do this move. I'm not even going to get into that anymore, because we've seen it again for the 5th, 6th consecutive NFL offseason. I'm not sure if the salary cap's a real thing.
It's as real as your desire to add that player. Because these guys, again, the math that these guys can do is something that you and I we'll never be able to do this kind of math. Like, all right, well, let's just look at the Deshaun Watson deal. So fully guaranteed $230 million 5-year deal. Year one, his base salary is $1 million. Why? Because if he gets suspended for 4 to 6 games, he'd lose those game checks. So now he's only going to lose a couple $100,000, where if they did it the way you and I would be like, all right, 230 divided by 5, there's your contract. Have a nice day. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's skim 40 off the top for a signing bonus. And that's what he would lose, millions and millions of dollars. So these guys, as much as whatever you want that player, you find a way to financially do it. You will. You'll cut somebody. You'll do whatever you have to do. That's the NFL. That's how they do it. It is impressive, shall I say? in a scary and frightening way. Levack and Goz, it is a Techies Tuesday live here at the MVP Arena inside the Albany Empire offices. 32 days till kickoff. Thursday, you and I make a guest appearance on Inside the Walls, the podcast. I had a blast talking to the guys. I wish they knew you were there. That's
that was fine.
That was my favorite part of the whole thing. Like, you'll see it. So we talked to them. It'll air Thursday, and there's a point where they're talking to me about, and obviously they cover the NAL, so they had a lot of questions for me. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you guys know Goz is here, right? You can ask Goz questions too. Like, it does. For once in my life, I'm okay with it not being all about me. If you guys would like to talk to any Goz at all, stop asking me everything about this team. That'd be great.
From fellow podcast host to podcast host, I had the scouting report on them before we went in. I told you,
right.
Hey, this is going to be 90% you. They'll toss some softballs to me at some point. Don't you worry. And sure enough, that's what happened. But they did an awesome job. I texted you immediately after the interview. It's one of our favorite, maybe hits together we've ever done. Television, radio, podcast. That was one of my favorite hits we've ever done together. It
would have been better if you weren't there. But, I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
Before, you know what? I would call it a marriage between us and Inside the Walls. I'd call it maybe a ring, maybe potentially, maybe some type of unity. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do.
I'm not buying your ring.
Lily and David Fine Jewelers, located at their new spot, the Shops of Wilton, may have a ring for you, whatever it might be for that occasion. Maybe you're ready to make that move from girlfriend to fiance. The engagement rings are there. I know from experience. That's where I bought my engagement ring. Family owned and operated business. Alyssa, David, the entire crew there, the wide selection of the Shops of Wilton. I got to check out the new store. Guys, they have it for you. Trust me. Right there at the Shops of Wilton off of Route 50. Wherever you're listening in upstate New York, it is worth the drive to get there and work with people that are going to help you with one of the biggest decisions of your life, the ring. Now, the whole proposal and how you're going to do it, ask David like I did. Take the advice. Don't screw it up. Lily and David Fine Jewelers can also help you for holidays, anniversaries, and more. That perfect gift for her that fits her style, her fashion, everything you need. They're going to help you find it. Lily and David Fine Jewelers, Route 50, Shops of Wilton, their new spot. Check them out this weekend. For more information, check out our description below on both our YouTube and audio sides. Say hello. You heard it from Levack and Goz. Stop in.
I'm sorry.
Don't say hello to my little friend when you walk Lily and David wave awkwardly at him. Get out. Get out. Another podcaster, huh? Get him out of here.
I'm sorry. I got distracted because halfway through I realized something that I talked to my good friend Dave McClett, who's the head honcho over Elevation 10K,
the legend, Dave McClett.
Legend,
yes,
Diggity Dave, some would call him.
Would they?
It goes. You'd have to know him a long time.
Okay.
We had talked about getting the championship T-shirts up on the team store at AlbanyEmpireNAL.com, and apparently he has done that because I had no idea they were there, but I just saw that they're moving off the shelves.
Breaking news!
Performance tees, short sleeve blend tees, all the cool stuff, all different price ranges depending on how you want the T-shirt to fit. They got it for you, and did a nice job. But I was just shocked. I was not expecting. I was like, huh? Okay. All right. Good to go. So they're there. If you want the championship T-shirt, you haven't been able to get one, AlbanyEmpireNAL.com. Go to the store. They're there for you. That's just, I'm sorry. Every once in a while, I still get caught off guard. It's weird.
Elevation 10K. Awesome people. Support them. Check them out on social media. Love those guys.
How about, how much do you love the Yankees right now, huh? I mean, they're good, right?
Ugh.
Are the Yankees the third best team in the AL East right now, or fourth?
I'm glad you
on
said
paper.
I'm glad you said fourth because I'm starting to wonder if it's fourth.
Because Toronto might be the best right now because they can hit the ball out of every park. They get the ball out of Yellowstone Park right now. Like they're a beast. The Rays are always good. They're always good. Boston adds Trevor Story. I don't know how that's going to go. But I would say the Yankees are still better than Boston.
Let's backpedal to that Story thing.
Baltimore's the worst.
I didn't have to go there, but yes.
Well, all right. I mean,
we figured out the math, didn't we? There's five in there. We haven't mentioned one
in
yet.
the next 6 to 25 years, Baltimore will be good, right?
Yes. I can't argue that point. 6 to 25 years. That's all I need to hear is that they're going to be good at some point.
I mean, broken clock is right twice a day. One of these decades, they're going to have to get it right?
When I saw this, yes, and yes. All positive vibes about the Orioles. Shout out to Kevin Brown, the new TV voice of the Baltimore Orioles, our buddy there. Here's the thing with the Yankees. I saw that Story news come across. And again, this has been the theme of March on social media for me. I thought it was a fake account. 3 consecutive Techies Tuesdays have I seen a big story break that we talked about and thought fake, not true, fake. This one is another one because I never heard Boston in the mix. Maybe a diehard Red Sox fan heard about Trevor's story in the mix go to Boston. I thought Boston was going to step back and be like, hey, you know what? 2021, everyone thought we weren't going to be good. We weren't as active as many people thought we'd be, but it turned out well for us. Let's take that same approach this year. The Yankees make a move to adjust their infield. The rumor is that it's going to be Carlos Correa. Correa ends up going to Detroit. All right, if it's not Correa, it's a done deal for Trevor Story. They probably already have the deal done for Story. And to see that he's going to Boston, comparison to any free agent this offseason, any of them, that is the one where I saw a Yankee fan ready to revolt on social media. I saw the fire Brian Cashman's come out, the Yankees stink, blah, blah. And Trevor Story's a fine player. But I think it was more about everybody beat us. There you go. Yeah. Everybody's been active this offseason except the Yankees, which is not Yankee-like. And it's, as you just pointed out, AL East in particular, very active.
Yeah, it was weird because so the way I felt about being a Raiders fan, like everybody in the AFC West is getting better, but the Raiders aren't doing jack squat. And then all of a sudden the Raiders go on a flurry and get marketably better. They're probably, I would say they're in contention to be the second best AFC West team. Maybe at least compete for the AFC West. Maybe, then it's like the Yankees. Okay, well, the same thing's happening with the Yankees. Everybody's making moves. The Mets are making moves. Steve Cohen's out there, getting a tax named after him because he's going to spend so much damn money. And the Yankees are sitting on their hands, just sitting on their hands. I think they have enough talent if everything works right to still be a team that could win the AL East, possibly move on and take on a World Series or whatever. Or if you look at the odds for the AL East, they have lesser odds. Like they're predicted to come in like third or fourth in the AL East, but they have better odds to win the World Series than I think everybody except for Toronto, because everybody just assumes that at some point Cashman will make a move if they're getting shellacked. So it might not be enough time to overtake the lead that they give up in the AL East. But if they get that wild card and they come after somebody, they're going to be trouble.
The tough part to figure out why the Yankee mindset has changed. I'm talking more so like the last 7 years. Like we go back to the days of George. That's a whole different mindset. But I guess we call it post-World Series when it became more about figuring out that luxury tax. As you've mentioned, the Cohen tax is evolving now into.
Imagine that Steinbrenner spinning in his grave. There was never a Steinbrenner tax.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew it was about me, but it wasn't named after me.
There were some guys I thought that Cashman was always going to be loyal to, and I thought Pride, again, was going to take over. Like, he thought maybe Luke Voigt was better than he was, or Gary Sanchez, and he was stubborn to move him. But these guys are gone now. So now it's like a whole new group of Yankees, but just not the best.
The Luke Voigt thing is I have mixed emotions on the whole Luke Voigt situation, because I love me some Luke. I love him. But at the same time, Gio Urshela, some of your favorite players of the Yankees. What do you need? You need something? You good? You looking around?
I'm good.
You need water or something? All right, you go get water. I'll do the show. He's dying. We lost him. All right, we're gonna need a new Goz. Fortunately, TG2 is somewhere in the area, I think. No, you love these guys. These are the guys that are your favorites. The Luke Voigts, the Gio Urchelas, and whatever. But you can do better. You can do better. And Rizzo coming back is big. Donaldson is going to be, I think, such an upgrade at third. And what I see with Sanchez and all these guys leaving is almost like Cashman finally looking in the mirror and going, I'm not always right. I got to let some of these guys go to get better. And I think they will. I think they'll be fine. I think you'll see. Because the best Yankees teams play like a team. And this is a team that could very well play like a team. If they don't add a free agent, but they get the Aaron Judge deal done, is that enough? That answer is no from you. I can see that. You know,
it is a no.
Yeah.
I want it to be a yes. I like Aaron Judge. I think he's an exciting player, even though I'm an Oriole fan. He's fun. He's easy to root for. You want to have him have a season where he's actually healthy and doesn't strike out a bunch and gets back in that conversation for the MVP. But no, this lineup is good. It's a little bit more veteran. But I guess I get more excited about this 2022 Blue Jay team, Ray team, Red Sox team than the Yankee team. That doesn't mean the Yankees are going to be out of it, but it's more likely, like our guy Buster Only picked the Blue Jays to come out of the AL this year. He's not picking the Yankees.
Right. Well, but Buster hates the Yankees. Buster hates the Yankees. I'll call him right now and call him on it. I don't care.
I thought he covered the Yankees. Why is he hating now?
Because he's a cantankerous little farm boy. What do you want from me? I don't know. Matt Bob, avoiding taxes doesn't win championships. Spend that money, Uncle Steve. 86 was a long time ago. I like that. Mets fan deserves that. They deserve that. They deserve to be like excited and happy. And to see Scherzer go out 75 pitches in 5 innings in his first outing in spring training. A little much for me, but he said it was a big deal. That's all there is. I don't know. I'm excited for Mets fan. I love this. This is Inside the Wall. It has to be James from Inside the Wall. Jimmy Jam. Trevor Story of the Red Sox. What? All right. I will make a wager that Josh Donaldson has a better year than Trevor Story.
Whoa.
I will make Josh Donaldson will have a better year than Story will.
You're talking statistically.
Yeah, let's go stats. That's probably the easiest way to do it, right?
All right.
We or what do we have to go? Do we have to war? Do we go war?
No, don't get in that. They don't want the nerds to be war pig.
Listen, let me tell you something about horse. I can't impersonate that guy. I wish I could.
No, we don't.
I wish I could.
Pig.
You get sprayed if I could do it right.
It's like COVID.
We need to figure that out. By the way, it's the one downside of the camera is it's hard to get guys like War Pig is shy, so he doesn't want to come. If you don't remember the radio show, War Pig he would come in and just explain why war was the greatest stat ever known to man.
He also had a theme song that I can't legally play without paying for the rights to it.
Yeah, that would change it. that would change it.
But maybe he'll come on maybe at one point.
Yeah.
We get a nice donor to give us the rights to that music.
Matt Bopp remembers War Pig.
Many people
there you
do.
go. Inside the Walls. Yankees still can't get over 3-0 and 0-4. This is my favorite thing.
Where did this come from?
But this is my favorite thing. Like as a Yankee fan, the one thing, anytime you bring up the 27 titles, oh, get out of the past. Why are you living the history? Let's talk about now. Now Sox fan is like, yeah, you haven't. We won, and in the 04, like, dude, all of a sudden every Red Sox fan has become a history professor. Like, dude, which is hysterical because most of them can't read. So it's great. Like, whatever. Enjoy 04. That's fine. I'm good with it. I'm all right. I lived through it. I'm fine. I ain't worried about it. I ain't gonna worry about this year. No, she didn't want no part of my wager. Story is failure. That's the story for Boston.
I know. I don't want to do this story. I don't want to do this.
You know what? You want to know? You want to know? Can't do it. Yeah, I can do it.
Uh-oh.
I can't. I want to say something terrible about somebody.
No.
Say something
Let's do something. Let's do this story instead.
By the way, make sure you check out Inside the Walls. They released their podcast on Thursday,
right?
And we're on it. We stopped in and hung out with the guys. They were great hosts. We appreciate them very much, especially Zach. Jim, not so much. But he's a big Jacksonville Sharks fan.
Yes.
That's fine. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Sharks. Jacksonville Sharks. That's right. Sorry. Yes.
What are you more concerned about for the Yankees? This is going to sound like a joke, but serious.
Under the bed.
The actual competition on the field, or this COVID-19 stuff that's going on involving the restrictions there in New York.
Well,
New York City, for those listening outside of New York.
Remember, they're tied together. They're tied together because it's such. New York City's ruling is so freaking stupid, and this is not about COVID, right? Because if it was about COVID, you would make it a sweeping rule. This is about votes, and this is about looking tough on the celebrities for the working man and working woman, because Kyrie Irving cannot play with the Nets in Brooklyn. He can practice with them. Visiting players who aren't vaccinated can play on that floor. But Kyrie can't because he's a New York resident for this thing. So because I come from Minnesota, I'm not going to be able to spread COVID. So it's absurd. It's ridiculous. I assume that between now and the baseball season that they'll back down a little bit because, again, outdoor versus indoor, this, that, and the other thing, whatever. But what a stupid ruling. Like, I'm sorry, sir, you can't come to work today. Oh, no. I'm from Minnesota. Oh, okay, come on in. I'm from New York. Oh, beat it, buddy. You can practice though. It's just ridiculous.
So many people feel so differently about whether it be any side of the COVID discussion. I don't care what side you're on. I want someone rationally to love to explain this to me. Like, you just did a good job of saying how much it doesn't make sense. I'm with you on it because, like, I cannot rationally, like somebody cannot sit down and tell me this makes any sense. And hell, we can go back further of standing up, you can't get COVID, but sitting down, you can't. I don't have to even dive into all that other nonsense
I'm sorry,
that went on
sorry
the last
guys.
2 years.
I have to leave the show.
Yeah,
because I'm from Albany County. You're out in Schenectady County, so when you can come here and do the show, but I can't come. I'm here,
right, man.
so like, sorry, I gotta go.
Just no real thought besides the political movement and politicking of voters has been playing into this. Why I didn't even want to touch this story is because I feel like it's just going to change, or the science will change, however we want to phrase this politically for a press release, that the Yankee players that could or could not be on the field for this start of the season in April will be on there at some point. Now, how confident do I feel in that? Knowing what's happened over the last 2 years involving policies and changes and politics and everything else, not very, but it seems as if now over the last, we'll say 90 days, it's more likely that this will change because we've seen other COVID protocols change. And I don't think it's going to impact the Yankees on a 162 season scale. Now, if the season had been shortened and we are 120 or 100, this is a bigger storyline than it is at 162.
Well, and again, I've never been the kind of person who felt like I should be able to tell you to get vaccinated. I'm sorry. And I know a lot of people out there thinking, I did. I'm boosted, all the crap. I did all the things. It pin cushioned me. I was just like, whatever. I'm fine. I trust my doctor very much. My doctor said it's a good idea. Okay. He didn't say it, but what he meant was you're really fat, and that's a comorbidity. You could die. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. But like, if you don't believe in that, then as long as I'm vaccinated, I feel like I've got my best shot of fighting through this thing. I'm all right. That's up to me. It's up to you. That's what this is. This is me telling you have to get vaccinated, even though I can't tell you have to get vaccinated. That's what it is. They're hoping that all the pressure is going to be on these guys. Was Carson Wentz only moved out of the Colts because shoddy play? Dude, you went and got a 40-something-year-old dude who hasn't played great in years. Part of it is because he wouldn't get vaccinated. Kirk Cousins, if there was an option in Minnesota, he'd be gone. They're forcing vaccinations on guys. That's what they're doing.
Now thinking about the course of sports over the last, we'll just use 50 years, when there might have been more politics discussed by sports, I feel like this is a time where athletes in particular can be more despised by a fan base now than ever, because you could be a Yankee fan and like a certain player, but now whatever your feelings are on COVID, you may loathe or love that player because of how they're handling COVID-19. Because some of that information, because it is your own personal health, should not be public, right?
Right.
Like you've got HIPAA stuff, and I don't want to get too deep into that. I'm sure people know that far better than I do. But it's not a hard one to figure out when it's like, hey, who's taking the field for the Yankees today? And not the next, oh, they're not vaccinated.
Right,
like it's not Sherlock Holmes isn't showed up, right? Like, so all of a sudden now players can turn on that. And I guess if you're running, and I stopped myself there. I was going to say, if you're running a business that's not best for your business, this isn't a business call. This is a mandate by the city, right?
And look, as again, businesses, you can make certain, you can do certain things. You can, some things you can't. You can get fought in court, whatever. But this is like, if they said no one was allowed to play in New York who wasn't vaccinated, regardless of where you're from, okay. The reason they're not doing that, they don't want to fight these other states. They don't want that smoke. As the kids say, this is a attempt to force mandate in New York State. Again, I care very little whether or not other people get vaccinated. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to put in your body. This is not who I am. Not going to tell the joke that just came to my mind either. We'll let you know that you are now just as mad at James as I am, Jimmy, over at Inside the Walls. AL East is the AFC West in baseball. Well, without Baltimore.
How could you? After all we've been through, how could you?
You know what'll cheer you up? Cindy Martin.
Yeah.
Realtor in the house. Our good friend Cindy Martin, who she works for the Howard Hanna Realty. She's on the Jen Karam team. She works with the best group of local attorneys, inspectors. She's there to make sure that you get the best value out of your home or the best deal on your new home. And I love when I talk to her about stuff, because it's never, I was talking about something completely different on the phone, and like give me a second. One of my people needs me. Like it's like, and it's not like I'm like, oh, The Office. No, it's somebody who she represented in buying a house. You know what I mean? Once you work with Cindy, you're one of her people, and it's amazing, and I love it. She's one of the kindest, nicest, just all around good. Actually, she's so nice I don't like it. You know what I mean? She's so nice and she's so sweet. I get a cavity once in a while. I got to get it taken care of. She's just too nice. She's just too nice to a person. It's a thing. No, I love Cindy. And if you need to work with someone to get, sell the house, buy a new home, whatever it is, whether it's here or it's anywhere else, she works locally and globally. She's the one to talk to. Cynthia Martin at howardhanna.com, 518-932-5558, 518-932-5558. That's her personal cell phone. It's a big investment. It's a scary thing. You got to make sure that you got the right person looking out for you, and that's our good friend Cindy Martin at Howard Hanna Realty. Goz, my friend, my amigo, did you happen to check out UFC 272.5? Did you see it?
Are you talking 2Fs? A half? Is that Covington Masvidal's rematch in the street? Is
yes.
what we're calling it? Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry, man. This is why I love Masvidal. I know, like, I'm supposed to be like, no, violence is wrong and save it for the cage. I know I'm supposed to say all those things. I get it. Don't let your mouth get reckless. There's like Masvidal, you got in a fist fight with Kamaru Usman at Radio Row when we were in Miami. Nobody knows him allegedly better in the fight game right now than Colby Covington. They were like good friends. When you talked about his kids and other things, you had to know dude was going to come for you. And he did. Last night, just before midnight, just after 11, Colby Covington was out at a Poppy Steak restaurant. And Masvidal arose and hit him twice, once in the mouth, once in the eye, allegedly. Broke a tooth, Covington's tooth, and he's now being charged with felony assault. But I think that's a win for Masvidal, right?
No.
It's a win for Masvidal. I'm telling you right now it is. So
in comparison to when we did that story about Usman and Masvidal, and we were within feet of that happening, we interviewed Dana White after, who said he hated it.
Right.
Hated that. That's not the promotion he wants. That's not what we're running. I thought he was full of it up until I actually saw him tell us to our face. I'm like, all right, he's not lying. You can smell it on him. You can feel it on him. This is different because some would say, hey, he talked about my kids. So this is beyond sports. Mm-hmm. This is beyond the UFC. This is a personal thing that we need to get settled right now. I haven't found the quote. TMC might have found it. This might have been behind the scenes. I've been struggling today to find it. Maybe someone found it faster than I did. You do have it?
What do you want?
The kid quote that he's referencing in this fight.
Oh yeah.
Masvidal and Covington.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
So, maybe it's something behind the scenes that they talked about or anything like that. This is a bad look for the UFC. It's bad.
It might not be great for the UFC, but I think it's exactly the look Masvidal wants. Because you Colby Covington talked about beating him up in the streets, doing whatever he had to do. He's the king of Miami now, right? Did all those things. Well, you now had to I showed up, I beat you up. You can hear him on tape saying he ran from the fight. You can hear him on tape saying, how did he find me? And it's like whoever the social media influencer was with him going, well, you post everything on social media. And then like Masvidal going on social media almost immediately afterwards saying, hey, it's the back up your talk challenge and all this other stuff. Masvidal knew that he was probably getting charges pressed on because Colby Covington has two choices, right? Take those two punches and a little bit of dental work, challenge Masvidal to a rematch in the cage to get it done, look like a man, or exercise your legal rights, press charges against him on assault. In which Masvidal and people like Masvidal are going to go, oh, but you said you wanted to fight him in the street, bitch. You little bitch. Who's little baby back bitch? It's you, Colby. Like, what Masvidal did is shown that Colby Covington is a phenomenal actor and a very good fighter. Because if the guy who promotes those fights was on that street corner and was getting punched from Masvidal, that's going to the ground. That's not going him backing up.
For the Covington fan, though, isn't he just like a circus to begin with? Like, I've never looked at Colby Covington and thought, like, this guy makes rational, non-entertainment. Like, this goes back to the pre-Trump stuff. Like, even when he was, all that stuff is an act, and maybe I just see through it, and not everybody does. Everybody doesn't have to feel through Colby Covington's whatever he's doing and rocking and everything else, wearing all that stuff.
By the way, we finally made it.
We did?
Yeah, we're getting spammed.
By what country?
No, it's some kind of herbal cancer cure that's fake. It's been posted by like 4 different users. I just keep deleting it.
Oh, I thought
because it's not real.
I gotta admit, I looked over one time. I saw this huge post.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, we brought up COVID. Here comes somebody on Facebook.
No, there's
All right.
some like the whatever country that the herbal cancer cure posts are coming out of is because it's been by 4 different people. Like, Pretty Sweetie was the first one, deleted her. Now it's just another one. So we've made it. We're getting spammed at the Techies Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page where you can watch us live.
My Facebook is covered in catfishes. I tweeted about this yesterday. Is this happening to everybody? Please let me know. Like,
my phone is bad lately.
Unbelievable.
And
hey, how are you? Hey, how are you doing? Because I don't use my Facebook. I know Facebook's supposed to be for like personal stuff. Mine's just straight promotion of an audience who might not be on Twitter or Instagram. Just people find out about the show.
Why don't you just talk about it on the radio?
No. I want people to listen to it at some point. Just like a Masvidal right hook, baby.
2-piece and a soda.
That's right. Street King Jesus. No, that's not it. What's Masvidal's nickname?
Street Jesus.
Street Jesus. Okay, yeah, I think
game bread.
Right there. Yeah, another punch. So yeah, the Masvidal thing. Remember the old sketch on the Chappelle Show when keeping it real goes wrong?
Yeah,
that's what that felt like. Like, I know I got to back this up. I know Covington says he's going to find me in the streets. The end result is not what either one of those guys want. And maybe they just never thought it'd hit the press.
Oh, no, it's 100% what Masvidal wanted. I'm telling you right now, because Masvidal's at a point in his career where he's not going to win a ton of fights in the cage. He's just not. Like, he's not Dan Hooker past his prime, but he's close.
And he's got his contract now.
Right. So what he did was a Conor McGregor level promotion of a fight, but there are people that you just don't mess with, right? There's people that like maybe you'll joke about, like, the guys in the office and well, we'll joke around about, man, I'll slap the hell out of you, blah, blah, blah. We'll joke around with it. But you have friends that if you joke about slapping the hell out of them, there's a chance you're going to catch a right. There's a chance you're going to, like, your reckless words will end you getting popped, and you don't do it. Or when you do it and it happens, you know what? Kind of saw that one coming. Masvidal's that dude. Covington knows Masvidal's that dude, and Covington had a little taste of reality headed to the dentist chair, because all this does is build the legend of the guy. The reason you liked Masvidal in the beginning is he was a street fighter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. All this does is continue that legend. Look, what's the worst that's going to happen to him on an assault charge? Big fine, 1 night in jail, maybe, if even. He's paying for promotion of his next fight. That's all he's doing.
And look around, right? John Jones has been in trouble before. If they ever brought him back, they'd still sell a bunch of pay-per-views. Conor McGregor's big thing in Brooklyn he had happen. It's not as if this has not happened in the fight game before, where a fighter's gotten issues with the law and still been able to profit.
Matter of fact, go full WWE on this one. The next UFC, when these two are going to fight in like 6 months, don't do it in the cage. Do it in a bar. Just go full WWE. Sign all the waivers, move all the glass out of the room, and let them throw hands in a Miami nightclub.
Barroom brawl.
Yeah. I mean, because like, that's who Covington is, and Masvidal is like, when Masvidal sat down with us in Miami, he was so much nicer and far better spoken than I expected him to be, because, again, I know him as a street fighter. And you want to talk about a good way to get your eggs scrambled? Street fight. Your brain ain't going to be right. Great guy, nice as could be. But you could also see there was points where, like, he would lean over and talk to me. Like if you're watching on Techie's Facebook or Godzilla's YouTube, I was sitting across the table from him. And once in a while, he'd lean over, like, even in commercials, be like, hey, man, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, there's a vibe here that if I was dumb enough to say something stupid right now, I'd at least get an open hand slap. You could feel it. It was there.
I had a friend who used to do this thing called AKP. Still does it. I know he does. He just lives out of New York now. Called it ass kicking potential, where he'd go somewhere in a room and wondered if something went down right now.
Can I get out of the room?
Right, exactly. Can I get out, or whose ass can I kick where I'm standing right now? By the end of what you just talked about right there, Masvidal was very nice to us and said, hey, I'll bring you guys around. Like, you guys are big dudes. Like, we can hang. Like, he was feeling it out to be like, is this guy on my side, or am I going to have to take it?
Right.
Like, it just must be a mental thing. And anywhere from a bar to the street. Like, that is the one thing with boxers and UFC guys and MMA fighters all across the board. Like,
that's how you make your living.
But there's some dumbass who's going to be drinking a bunch saying, hey, Masvidal's not that big.
Right.
I could take it right now.
Right.
I could. Like, there's a guy everywhere they go. Some guy, machismo, feels that looking at fighters.
It happens. It does. I mean, look, but I tell you what, he's the one. he's the one. I feel like if you got in his face, there's a good chance you're going to catch a hand. And again, nicest guy, couldn't be more, engaging with us. And like you said, joked around, had a good time. When he said, I'll walk around with you guys anytime you want, I felt like if we had gone to his people and went, hey, we're coming out in Miami tonight, is Jorge being real? Yeah, come on. We'll book 2 more seats. Like, you'll be able to sit in the champagne room for a little while. Bring your money. We ain't buying. We're inviting, but we ain't buying.
Could you imagine if it was Jorge Masvidal and before they bring out the money, all of a sudden in walks Jared Lozier? I'm here to save you cash. 518-956.
I think Masvidal, like, Lozier is so intense. Like, he's so like the things that Jared cares about, he cares about. He'd be over the top too much. Why are you drinking that kind of tequila? I love this kind of tequila. No, that's his brand, bro. That's his. Leave him alone.
I forget how big Jared is. 6'4", probably.
He's not 6'4".
He got the light at Hooters. My arms are too short. I'm 6'2".
He's not 6'4".
I think Jared might have been 6'4". We'll ask him that.
Yeah, but you're all torso. No, like
518-956-3753. You know what? Do a favor for me. All right. Text him and ask him how tall he is right now. 518-95. Not you listening. 956-3753 or email him. JAREDL@anymail.com. Title the email, how tall are you? Can you save me money? That's what we want. This guy's going to shop the market for you. If you're looking for a quote on your home, your insurance rates, your business you're running right now, your car, at the end of the year, it's going to add up. Let him shop the market for you. That monthly cost you might be paying, that yearly cost, saving you cash. 6'3". Okay, so we're in the
6'3".
Jared Lozier is 6'3" and will save you money. 518-956-3753. Jared Lozier helping you save cash on your insurance policies in 2022. And he's very tall.
I just let him know that you're flirting with him on the podcast right now.
It's not what happens.
See how he feels. He'll be at Hooters. He'll be at Hooters on Friday. 5:30 to 7. We'll do the show live. We'll hang out. Justin Morris, our good friend who won the Levack and Goz Bowl Challenge, he's going to come take advantage of that free happy hour.
Nice.
We got him covered. Hopefully Boston Dan likes me enough to cover it.
We've got him covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
I thought I heard a you in there.
Well, okay, you. You own Godzilla Media.
I looked at my bill from this past Hooters, and I tell you, some things didn't make sense. That's my fault. I bought some people some.
Yeah. Well, no, we left.
I saw.
We were waiting for you to say something.
I know. We were waiting for you to say something. Tuesday. A Tuesday, I'm saying something.
We were waiting for you to say something. Well, because we cleared everything up, and then we all ordered a couple more drinks.
Yes.
And then we left. And I was outside waiting for the car, and Dan went, "Did we leave Goz with the bill?" I'm like, "Well, it's only a couple of drinks." And he goes, "I go, he always flashes the Godzilla Media card. He never uses it. Let's let him."
It's unbelievable.
We'll take care of him if he wants
Tuesday,
it.
I'm like,
you want some money?
No. It was funnier because I'm like, man, I probably would have pulled that at some point, and they all did it to me, and I'm like, I'm not even mad.
You were in a special kind of way.
Yeah, I was having fun. It's a great time.
You went from like everything was normal to like we're like, dude, you got a ride? Yup. You good? Yup. All right. We're gonna leave. Go ahead, get out of here. I think you called us pussies or something, and then we left.
That's right. By the way, it could be like that this Friday. We'll see. We got breaking news.
Jared Lozier said we were supposed to put our drinks on Goz. No, Jared, he said he'll pay for yours next time.
I didn't say that.
This
Although
Friday.
we're supposed to get tacos on Monday.
This Friday. Aw. Yeah, there he is. Jared, here he is. Wait, we were supposed to put drinks on Goz? I didn't put drinks on anyone. I just listen. I pick up just as many tabs as anybody.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
So I'm just saying, like, I wasn't like malicious for me to do it. I was just funny.
It was hilarious.
I was like, what was it? It was only probably about 6-8 drinks, something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. Right?
I just can't imagine that. You just brought up Justin. I'm like, someone's gonna be saying their name is Justin and show up to Hooters Friday. Be like, yeah, I'm Justin. That's on the Godzilla Media tab.
Justin legit saved my ass today because I didn't know it was the same Justin. So Justin came and fixed the copier and printer, both of them here at the Albany Empire offices. So I was going through that vicious cycle of my tech guy going, yeah, this is a printer company issue. And I was going to the printer company like, no, that's a tech guy issue. And then like, I just happened to remember like, isn't just this boom, hit him. And he came in, started fixing it, everything, got us to a point where we're moving again. And he's like, all right, I'll see you Friday. I'm like, You are that, Justin. All right. So yeah, no, well, trust me, we're taking care of that guy. Goz we're gonna put all that on the Godzilla media card. Don't worry about that at all.
Kansas, you better hit. All right, you better hit.
Yeah, you're gonna be bald and broke by the end of that. By the end of the Hooters broadcast, it's gonna be so much fun. Want to do a little Q&A then today?
I do, but
I have to tell you about my sleep first, don't I?
Yes, you do.
I want to tell you about the Integrative Sleep Center in Boston Spa with Dr. Fred Dreer. Going there Thursday to see everybody. By the way, proud sponsors of the Albany Empire, the Integrative Sleep Center. Yeah. Love everybody over there. Doctor is the man. I was so terribly sleeping, and I didn't realize it. It catches up to you over time. So like when it was gray out, I'd be head bobbing. Like I'd be driving. I'd have to drink like 2 energy drinks to get to work. Now I get great sleep, and it's through a mouthpiece, not a mask, no hoses, no wires, no nothing. No, it's just a mouthpiece that keeps your bottom jaw just a little bit forward, keeps your airway open, snoring's under control, sleep apnea is under control, which is better for this big fat heart of mine. And it has just been such a difference for my energy, my ability to recover, to go back to the gym, things of that nature. And it all started by calling 518-885-6185, 518-885-6185. Dr. Fred Dreer in the Integrative Sleep Center in Boston Spa. Great people helping me sleep better. They will help you sleep better as well.
Before we get to Q&A at the end of the day, I feel like I passed an opportunity to ask you this question earlier.
I will not go to prom with you.
Are we the hockey action this Thursday and Saturday here at the MVP Arena? I think it's going to be a really good crowd. Are you going to be attending any of these games, or should fans in the Capital Region? This is like the biggest event probably locally for the next 3 months in the sports calendar here in the 518.
For 3 months?
I'm just kidding.
How about for 32 days? April 23rd, the Albany Empire, your Albany Empire, hosts the Carolina Cobras. By host, I mean beat the crap out of them. See that trophy back there? That's what I'm saying. I got my fat one. There it is. I think I might go to the games. I was talking to Mike Corda, owner of Techie's Fire and Water Restoration and the Albany Empire, earlier today, and he was like, maybe we'll go. Maybe we'll go. I don't like. I wish Michigan had been able to come a year ago. I'm a big, obviously I want to see Michigan. That didn't happen, and they're not in it this year, at least not this bracket. I don't know the rest of it. I don't watch a lot of college hockey, but Notre Dame always has a good program. Is it North Dakota, Minnesota State? The other one escapes me at the moment. Who the other one is? I don't know. But I'll come watch. I don't know.
I like events like this because you get fans from across the country, and that's kind of why I set it up with the Empire thing and you hit it out of the park for me.
No, you screwed up.
We're going to get fan bases from hockey towns like North Dakota, hopefully from San Antonio, Jacksonville, Orlando, everything else. And this is the time where it happens because 2 years ago, here, then known as the Times Union Center, now the MVP Arena. Was supposed to host the round of 64 and the round of 32.
Oh, Harvard. That's the other one. Harvard. That's why I don't know. My friend goes to Yale.
It's called.
Bye, Ryan.
Goodbye.
Harvard.
The Hobart of Cambridge is what many people call it.
Harvard.
But it was supposed to be like here locally for sports, everything else. Like there's been so many misses by this because of what happened in 2020. And then 2021, really when things started to change was when the Albany Empire took the field. That was a great moment for the Capital Region sports scene because it felt as if, I know you were there because you were on the field, like that was the return of sports here really in 2021. Right. We had other things happening, but because of restrictions in the college game and everything else, it felt like the Empire were the first one to let people back. And this is just going to be another one of these moments from a behind the scenes stuff because it feels like it's a little slower.
By the way, the cancer post is now turned into herpes post, but the same cure.
God.
So apparently whatever this cure is, it's cancer and herpes. If they get care of you.
Does it affect you guys for the Empire? Like, is this NAL news, especially with the field? Are you guys going to be practicing here at some point? Is the hockey set up, the Firewolves, is all of that affecting you guys?
No, honestly, like our training camp starts April 3rd. So we'll have the guys ready to go. So as far as like what it does for us, the only thing it's getting in the way of it all for me is a lot of the people that I want to work with to plan this season are very busy doing this. So that's the only thing is it just puts everything back a couple days on that part, like for game day ops and things of that nature. But no, it's just good. It's just good to have. And I think if we can get good crowds here, it's just more proof that we're ready, So, no, I'm excited. I'm excited. I just want to see people at the MVP Arena. Like that just helps. Like every time we see it. And then so they got that. And then Sebastian Maniscalco is going to be here. And then the Firewolves game on the April 16th, the Albany Empire will be there at the half. You get your first chance to take a look at our new team.
Oh, yeah, you beat me to it. That's the setup to basically this is going to be the roster. We can find out your favorite players and everything else.
Yeah, and then the 23rd, we go, and the Firewolves are going to come to our game. And we're going to give away tickets to our home opener on April 16th for the Albany Firewolves game. And then the Firewolves are going to give away tickets to their next game at our April 23rd game. So it's
wait, hang on.
Kumbaya.
I want to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah.
You guys, the Albany Empire, are going to give away tickets at the Firewolves game.
Correct.
And then the Firewolves are going to give away tickets to their game at the Empire game.
Correct.
Okay.
So technically, if you think about it this way, right? So if you buy tickets, I shouldn't say this because it's the Empire game. It's the one I need. If you buy tickets to the April 16th Firewolves game, you could honestly tell yourself you're buying tickets to 3 straight games, because you get that, and then we'll be giving out our tickets on the concourse. So then you go to 23rd. When you're at the 23rd game, you walk up to the concourse. The Firewolves are giving away game tickets to their next game. So next thing you know, you've gone to 3 games for the price of 1. Look at that.
I don't know if there's any other professional sports teams in upstate New York. Now, the answer to that's no. I would like to see if anyone's working like you guys are. That's a very cool thing here for the Capital Region, to see sports teams like that partnering like that. When I first heard you say it, I thought the Firewolves were doubling down and giving away tickets at 2 games. Like, whoa, hang on.
I think he would if I asked him to.
I know.
I think he would if I.
I'm like, wait a second, well, free tickets everywhere.
Well, George Manius was the guy who architected the original launch of the Empire, a good friend of ours, and now he's the guy architecting the inaugural season of the Firewolves. So we're working together best we can, and helping the fans. It's all about the fans. All about the fans.
Hashtag fan love. Yeah.
By the way, single game tickets on sale now at AlbanyEmpireNAL.com, or give us a call, 518-714-2200, extension 105 or 101. Either one will work well. Get your tickets. April 23rd, home opener.
I want to share this picture so bad, because this picture Cindy just sent of us, shouting herself out. You look like you just finished off a great tackle as a linebacker, a 4-3 defense, a second and short, and then me. How would you describe that face right there?
I think it's you look like a Muppet the first time the hand went up the backside.
That's right. The eyes are crossed. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, the cops are here. Here we are. Look at this. The sheriffs are here.
What's up, Howie?
Before we get to Q&A end of the day, let's tell you about our friends over at Mohawk Honda. Selection is king. Glenville, New York is the spot. If you're looking for a new vehicle, head over to Glenville and work with our people. Shout out to Greg Johnson and Lindsay Harridan. Nate and Nick, man, the guys who are running their social media, the Plate Change Challenge. I saw our friends over at Mohawk Chevrolet. We're competing now back and forth throughout the month of March. You're going to see the personalities and the people that you can trust during the car buying experience show off their skills. And also, if you've got some athletic gear that you've used in the past, right now, Mohawk's family is teaming up to have you give it back in the awesome drive going on right now. Check out their Facebook page for more information on that. But if you're looking for a new vehicle, how about a 2022 Pilot EXL? I know it's an awesome ride because it's sitting right there, and the sheriffs have drove away, not getting a ticket, and I'm back in the NVP employee parking spot. Actually, I don't know where that sheriff is. It doesn't matter. Get a new vehicle for yourself. Find the ones that fit your budget. With the gas prices going up, you want to make sure you get a vehicle that's not going to break the bank for you too. Cam McKenna's my guy. Brian McKenna. Everybody there can help you find it. We love working with those people at Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet, where they always go out of their way to please you.
Time for Q&A to end the day on a Tech East Tuesday, live from the Albany Empire offices at the MVP Arena. We'll start with Cindy Martin, realtor to the stars. Is Empire roster complete? No. Well, here's the thing. We have all of our players. We actually have too many. So we're going to bring in guys in. April 3rd, they'll be here. We're setting up a media day for April 9th. We're hoping to do hopefully right around then, maybe do like a season ticket holder event too. We're just having trouble getting the right locations together for everything, to be perfectly honest, which I would blame on the team president. But no, coach has got to make some very, very tough cuts to get down to that 25 to 26 players. And next time coach is on, I'll let him explain why we could have 26 players instead of 25.
Ooh, nice little tease there.
Yeah.
Did you get a comment from Bill, who wrote in about wanting to see a Goz 10-team parlay?
Yes, I did. I was going to bring that up. Yeah, Bill, our teenie, waiting for Goz's 10-team parlay. I just missed a 15-teamer earlier in the first round.
I
There.
feel like if you do a 15-team parlay, they should pay you out for like 13 out of 15. They should
If you
still
cash out early,
Yeah, you should still get a
maybe.
payout or something on that. No 10-team parlays for me, Bill. I'm a changed man now. I went over. I think I mentioned this on the Friday show. I started off like 0 for 7, 0 for 8, and said enough's enough. I'll just leave my Kansas future wager out there and just wait till Derby season in May. Done enough of investing. Hope some of my brackets might pay off at some point. So sorry, Bill. No 10-team parlay all the way for you.
Q&A to end the day.
I've got Eminem wrote this one in.
Eminem? Oh, I like his music.
I tweeted something nasty to Evan Longoria and all of his minions, then got back at us. I don't know if that happens more often for athletes. I feel like that's like a show, a media company, a brand thing where, like, I guess poor Dan will be the king of this because today's his birthday. It's like, hey, for my birthday this year, I want you, instead of wishing me a happy birthday, to tweet all the people who are my enemies that you don't like them and they're the worst.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, like Barstool,
Like that.
Outkick, Lebitard. Those are the people that it seems like gets the tweets if you ever say anything bad about them.
Minions.
Right. I don't think athletes are like that, are they?
Everybody. I mean, I saw a full-blown just Twitter fight over whether Devontae Adams was going to wear 17 or 15 as a Raider. And I'm like, I don't give a crap as long as he shows up. Like, but people are like trying to kill each other over it. It's pretty crazy. How about this one from our good friend Tom Gross? Tom, what do you think of Matt Ryan trade, and where do you think Baker Mayfield will end up?
I will stick with that. Baker will. Now as the show's progressed, I was between Cleveland, staying on the roster, or Carolina. I will go with staying on the Cleveland roster till week 1 and then figuring out a trade because Cleveland's willing to wait on that. So I will do that. As for the Ryan trade, they got better. It was a great deal for Atlanta because that contract made 0 sense for where that franchise is. And it made good sense for Indy because they didn't want to go with an unproven quarterback and try to rebuild. They feel like a veteran play by Ryan handing off the football is good. So good trade for Indy.
You must have ticked that cop off. He's going to buy like 6 times.
I know, right? And I will stick with Cleveland for now for Baker. My confidence is leaning hour by hour to back off of that take.
I mean, the Matt Ryan trade's fine. I mean, it really means nothing to me. It's almost like shuffling trash. But the Baker thing, I think preseason he gets moved. Preseason somebody gets hurt, he gets moved. But maybe not.
Did you get this comment from our pal Boston Dan, who we see Friday?
Hates Sandra Bullock.
Hates Sandra Bullock.
Hates her.
I don't know where that came from in our mass text together, but he just wrote, Sandra Bullock reflects on the one film she wishes she hadn't done. He says, the answer is all of them.
Right, which he did right on the post, which she doesn't regret them all. I mean, you know.
I have so many questions.
Is it Speed 2? It's Speed 2, isn't it?
Speed 2 is the top comment.
Was it really?
It's
not a good movie.
Question 1, Dan, I don't think he actually answered why he's not a fan of her. I think he just wrote because. And 2, did he actually search Sandra Bullock on Facebook, find an article about her, then saw it, then tagged? How did that all come together that he found that so fast?
Would that shock you?
No.
If there's one thing Boston Dan is good at, it's hate. He'd be in the haters ball.
Hate.
Yeah. Hate. Corey just wants everybody to know that he has the number. He has a 97% correct in one of his brackets in Godzilla Media.
Oh, Corey, you saved me a rant this year because that used to be my favorite March rant to do. Is that as much as I love Twitter, and I wasn't on Instagram and Facebook for a while, I despised Twitter more this month than any month, and in particular March Madness, because of people like you, Corey, because of comments like that, because you can do 25 brackets now. And then someone would go on Twitter and be like, I got it right on my bracket. Oh, you did? Yeah, yes, the 21st one I did.
Yeah.
But I'm not impressed.
Well, you know, that was a great Mike and Mike bit back in the day, the sheets of integrity. You know, one would do 100. You know, whatever. But
not impressed, Corey. If anything, you're not 97%.
Right. Then here's his questions too, just for the fun of it. 2 Q&A because he's greedy. Hey, Ghazi, be careful. Who's your top 5 power ranking? Hey, Ghazi, be careful. You must have said something to tick him off. Who's your top 5 power rankings in the AFC?
Oh, you know what, Corey? I'll do it. I'll play your game, Corey. I would put Cincinnati at 1. I put Cincinnati there because I'll go with my Ric Flair theory to be the man. You got to beat the man. So until Cincinnati plays week 1 and doesn't look as good, I'll put them at 1. I will put Kansas City at 2 because they were a few plays away from getting back to the Super Bowl. So KC at 2.
Lame.
Buffalo at 3 because Buffalo and Kansas City had one of the great games of all time. When it came to the playoffs this past playoff season, I would put Tennessee at 4. They were the best team in the AFC last season. They were the number 1 seed. They lost in a game-winning field goal.
You're bad at this.
And who should be number 5?
Your mom.
You know what? Oh, number 5's the hardest,
Mm-hmm.
the toughest one to figure out. I will go with. Is it? Yeah, Levack. I'm going to go with your Raiders at 5.
That you finally got one right.
The Raiders would be at number 5 because of how competitive the AFC West is. Blah blah. The Raiders would be seriously at 5.
Bills 1, Chiefs 2, Bengals 3. Who do I want for 4? Who do I want for 4? Yeah, maybe Cleveland.
Your Raiders that high?
Cleveland's are 5. Raiders are 5. I mean, I think Cleveland.
I think if you've got to think about Cleveland, I think that means your Raiders are 4 and Cleveland's 5.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take it. I think the Raiders are going to be really good this year. Really, really good. Carr's going to show you something. He's going to show you something. But no, I like the relationship that Burrow's already got with Lyle Collins, where he's like, your bodyguards are in town, stuff like that. But no, Bills are number 1. Bills are going to be tough to beat. Power rankings for March Madness. You want to do that or no?
I will do that quickly, Corey. I just looked at one thing on the NFL thing that the Colts we didn't mention or the Patriots, both teams that one a playoff team, one not. I would say the Colts are better. We've mentioned that throughout the show, but
Matt Ryan
are better than that.
Matt Ryan. Mac Jones, please.
Power rankings for the teams left. I have Kansas winning my bracket, so they're 1. Gonzaga would be 2. Arizona and Duke are both in trouble, but I'll give them 3-4 right now. And Villanova 5. Texas Tech should probably be higher, but that's how I'd lay it out right now. I don't know where I'd put Texas Tech. I feel like I missed them though.
Arizona, Texas Tech, Gonzaga, Houston, and then
Kansas.
Yeah, no, F Kansas, F
Duke,
Kansas.
St. Peter's,
Michigan. We'll just do it. Let's put it out there. Why not? I haven't been homer enough in my sheets. I'll be a homer in the streets. What's up? How you doing? I think it's important to put again that Jared Lazier is confused and wish that he'd known that you were going to be paying for all the drinks last Friday. Hopefully he shows up and makes you do it this one.
Jared, that is a Levack thing. All right. Hopefully you heard that whole story. Everyone had a few drinks. It was
Jared's your boy. Terry Hiplo. Does St. Peter's have a shot? Well, many shots, but not to win.
I so badly want St. Peter's to be in the game. I will be rooting for St. Peter's. I texted you Levack Saturday. I think it was Saturday night, and said, I hope Texas wins because they are going to get killed if it's Purdue.
Yeah.
7 foot. It's like here. Hopefully it's competitive for the first 10 minutes because if every possession is them dumping it down to the 7'4" kid on Friday night, and I'm going to rant more about this in a few days, but please don't make it like that. So,
no, sorry. One more for you. It's from Instacam. You plan on going to Nationals Park this season, guys?
We were talking about this off the air on the Friday show, how much I love that park. It's one of the ballparks I want to go to. Cam, I will try to go there. It's a little bit more difficult in my life with the bebe. I wish I could go. Probably not, but it's on the bucket list of things I'd like to do probably within the next 5 years.
Probably better go there than watch the Orioles get their asses whooped in Camden. I mean,
how could you, Cam? Did you set that up, Levack?
Yeah.
Were you guys on a team there?
Insta Camden. All right, so that's your Q&A today. You got anything over there or no?
We just ran through a bunch that I wanted to do. So
I got them over here. I'm good. I got it. I could also let you know about that miracle cure that for herpes and cancer that we keep getting spammed with.
Gotta watch you
throughout
read
the
it, but
entire
not
show.
too long.
Oh my god, it's like a pair, but it's like each one is like it's obscene. It's obscene.
No, those are all the ones I want to do.
All right, I have a question for you. Can I leave?
Yeah.
All right. A little bit of advice for everybody. If you think you might have to go number 2 directly before a 90-minute podcast, do it. Struggle Bus, Party 1, right here.